Hello, my name is Leora. I'm a part-time furniture flipper out of Windsor, Colorado. What started as a hobby in 2020 is now a full-blown obsession. I love taking old, unloved furniture and creating beautiful works of art. Come join me in my studio to see how I make diamonds from the rough. Hey everybody, before this video gets started, I wanted to just jump in here and do a quick intro because I realized that my video doesn't have an introduction at all about what I actually did. So I am currently on a temporary duty here in Aviano, Italy, and I want to get this YouTube video out. So please stay tuned while I tell you a little bit about the bedroom set that you're about to see. It was brought to me by one of my co-workers, and she has had her furniture for over 25 years. It was the furniture that she bought with her husband when they first got married. So she definitely had a lot of memories with that furniture. She had a lot of affection for the style and the quality of the furniture itself, but she really wanted a look that she had not been able to find. My client wanted the blacks and browns of this propeller transformed into an old world finish. So here's my interpretation on her bedroom set. This custom project consisted of a dresser with a mirror, 2 of these nightstands, and this matching head and footboard. I began with the nightstands, which had a terrible failing finish on top and was really making me crazy. It was also very orange. I can't start anywhere except scraping this top because it's such a distraction to me. I absolutely have to get this stain off because it's making me crazy. I'm not even going to start with cleaning. I'm not going to start vacuuming it out. I'm not going to start with taking things apart. I'm starting with the tops. There are several different approaches that I could have used to remove the stain from the tops of these nightstands. I could have sanded, but that would have taken up a lot of sandpaper and taken a long time. Or I could have used citrus strip or some other kind of stripper, but that is also time consuming and very messy, as well as you're using a lot of chemicals. My favorite is using the carbide scraper. This thing is so satisfying to use and just scrape off all that old finish. I replaced the sad failing finish with a custom blend of Georgian Cherry and Walnut. And here's what she looks like now. This is the final paint job. We decided to go with this old world look that has many shades of browns over black with texture, and I'm going to go into detail on the next pieces, how I created it. By the time I got to the dresser and the matching mirror that is attached to it, I had already worked out how I was going to do my paint job. But this dresser was actually in worse condition than the nightstands. You can see the drawers don't work, and the top was especially cat scratched. This time I did start with cleaning out all the drawers because I knew I was going to get to that top and how I was going to handle it. Always want to clean out because you saw I found some fish hooks inside there. Underneath, there were some random stapled pieces of strapping wire that had just never been removed in the 25 years that it had been in there, probably because she didn't ever tip it over, but since I had it in my clutches, I wanted to fix everything. The next thing was these drawer slides. This is why the drawers would not close all the way. The first one is a proper drawer slide. This one is broken. See, there's no little slot. You can purchase these replacement drawer slides on Amazon like I did, or you can get them at a home improvement store. I only had to unscrew the back portion and remove it, and if you look closely when I hold it up, it's missing a little piece of plastic. That piece of plastic is what held it onto the track. These break down because of too much weight being put into the drawers. So it's a super simple install, as you can see, just 3 screws. This part wasn't broken, but since I got a brand new one, I just replaced all the pieces so everything would be smooth and in good condition. Went back to scraping off that top and the sides. Once you start scraping, you really can't stop. It's just too satisfying. Next up was the repairs. This is a pressboard core with an oak veneer. I just did a Bondo wood fill over any of the chipped portions. And then I went about sanding them off with my Surf Prep sander. I sanded down all of the excess Bondo off of the feet, and then the next thing I did was remove the Bondo from this leaf and vine detailing. My client no longer wanted those. After that was done, it was time to address these cat scratches. I sanded, and eventually it paid off. I didn't think it was going to work actually, but if you look closely, all those tiny scratches have just magically disappeared. To ensure my oil-based wood stain would absorb properly, I applied a pre-stain wood conditioner from Minwax, and then I made a custom blend of Georgian Cherry from General Finishes and a Walnut color from Dixie Belle, both oil-based stains. I like to turn my pieces upside down to make sure I cover every single nook and cranny. Step 1, aka the ugly phase, but it has a first coat. Now for the design phase. I picked up the technique for Old World finishes from Charlie at Girl in Blue Designs at the Daydream Apothecary Masterclass. I thickened some black paint with some salt wash, which is a texture additive, and I put that thickened paint all over the base coat. Then I sprinkled some raw salt wash into the wet coat. Once it was on, I sprayed it with water, and as it dries down, you can see that it starts to get hard and chalky, and then you can brush away the excess after it has dried thoroughly. I wiped away any residual dust from the salt wash and then began laying down my color. I used Caviar, coffee bean, and a custom blend of coffee bean and Merlot, which is what gave the reddish brown color. The final step to making this look come together is scraping with my carbide scraper, and I'm just using very light pressure to remove some of the higher lumps from the salt wash. When I scrape over the salt wash and then dust away anything that's left behind, then seal it, I get to see all the colors that I have layered on. I repeated all of the exact same steps to finish this mirror. The final step was to take the sideboards, headboard, and footboard and strip all the old stain off, add new stain, and paint to match. And here is what she took home. Here's the dresser with the new knobs that the client provided. They're beautiful new tops, the matching nightstands, which actually came out even better matched than I could possibly have imagined. They look beautiful with their new knobs. And the headboard and footboard. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love it if you would subscribe, like, comment, share, anything at all that you could do. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much.